Today we are going to try to make a pumpkin spice. You can buy it in the store just all together, or you can make it yourself. So we're going to make it ourselves and see how it treats us. So the pumpkin pie spice calls for the 4 ingredients that I showed you guys. Some of them also call for allspice. So I have allspice, but I looked up what allspice was, and it's basically nutmeg, cloves, and cinnamon. And sometimes some of them recipes say pepper, but I don't know. So I figure I could leave that puppy out. I feel good about it. That is what our ingredients are today. So let's get started. One quick thing before we start is the non-organic spices have a sulfiting or something agent in them that keeps them from caking and from being probably lasting shelf life, whatever. So if you buy non-organic, it's going to be that way. That's what you're up against. I did write down some prices because I felt like we should kind of know what we're up against here. And some of them I couldn't find, and this is going to be sort of an iffy calculation just because of the season that we're in. We're in the Thanksgiving Christmas season, and I think they always inflate prices during this time. So throughout the rest of the year, this could be totally different, but throughout the year where you're trying to get these goodies, most of the time, this is kind of what we're looking at. I couldn't even find a ginger this size. I had to go to this local store in my little country store to get these because they were out everywhere else, and they were expensive. So I won't even tell you how much I paid for these. But online, I couldn't even find a ginger that was this size. So the next size up, like 2 ounces-ish, is about $3.98. The clove, $4.17 for this guy. The nutmeg, I couldn't find the right size either, and it was for 2 ounces, $3.77. I don't remember how much I paid for my cinnamon. I have cinnamon on hand all the time. It's a health benefit. It's actually, when I was researching cinnamon, I found out that this type of cinnamon, Ceylon, I might be saying it wrong. I probably am. I don't pronounce everything right. Anyway, is actually the cinnamon that you want for health benefits. Other cinnamon, I guess, doesn't really do the trick. You can look all that up yourself. But so this was important to me to have, and this is organic, so I feel pretty good about this. But I always have a lot, so I priced it out anyways for a 2-ounce one, and it's $4.87. And like the bigger ones, again, non-organic. This is all non-organic. Organic was pretty much pricier. I wrote down one of the prices, I think, for an organic 2 or 0.7 ounce, and that was like $9.49 for some of these organic little jobbers. So, or next size up jobbers. So it's going to cost you more all the time. I eventually want to do all organic, or even the goal higher than that is always to grow my own food or to source it from people that I know locally, or I don't think you can do cinnamon in the country. That might be something done that I just said. Maybe you can grow cinnamon in the country. I don't know. But when you can, I think you should do it yourself because you know what you're getting your hands into, you know what you're working with, and so that is my long-time goal. That's sort of the whole point of this channel, is to eventually get to a place where we can do it all on our own. And I want to make it as easy as possible because we all have lives, and I can't always be in the kitchen as much as it's a blast. I can't always be in the kitchen. As far as the price point goes, between buying your own pumpkin pie spice, just buying it organic by itself, or buying it non-organic by itself, you might find that it's more cheaper. It's more cheaper. You might find that it's more, I'm gonna do it again. You might find that it's less expensive to buy it all in a pumpkin spice, but then you won't have these all separate for anything. So I think you got to weigh that option out too, depending on if that's all you use it for. But if you want to have these little guys on hand, it's just a better situation to get it all separate. So let's start making this spice. Got my little jar here. And I'm going to start with my cinnamon. This recipe calls for 1/4 cup of cinnamon. Now when I'm going to be trying this, I'm going to make something with my pumpkins. I'd like to make scones. I'm also going to make pumpkin pie because Thanksgiving is actually tomorrow. So, but I'm going to make, just to taste it. I don't imagine just tasting it by itself will be good. We'll do it anyway. But I'm going to add some sugar in there because that seems smarter to me for some reason. All right, so for the ginger, we're going with 1 tablespoon of ginger. Does that seem like a lot of ginger to you? When I work with ginger, I don't ever use the powdered. I actually had to buy this. I just actually had this great little tip about ginger. So I buy the ginger from the store, right? And I freeze it and it lasts forever. And then when I use it, I just grate it frozen, which grades perfectly. And then I put it back in the freezer. And it lasts me a lifetime. I barely ever go through ginger. But when I do use it, I use it solid or in its regular little form. So this ginger here, I mean, it smells like ginger. I mean, obviously it smells like ginger. I'm meaning that it's strong like the actual ginger, not as strong though. So I don't know. That seems like a lot of ginger to me, but we'll see. 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. Nutmeg is actually these are all pretty strong flavors, right? That actually smells really good. 1 of those. 2 of those, right? Yep, 2 of those. Okay, and then last are the cloves. This seems pretty simple, right? Like we could just work this out in our own homes. Put this together by ourselves. Well, thought I wasn't going to be able to get that open because that would have been not as easy as I was saying. Okay. Ooh, that's strong. Oh, mama. Just like the old-fashioned gum. Remember the old-fashioned gum? I'm actually taking this, and I don't even know what I'm doing. 2 teaspoons. This is not a teaspoon. All right, try again. 1 and 2. Okay, that's it. I don't know if I could tilt it without spilling it. But there they are. I'm going to close it and shake it. That's a lot of cinnamon. I imagine it works itself out. Everything was pretty much the same in all the different recipes that I saw. Like I said, except for that allspice, which is weird. It's like add all these ingredients and then add them again. Just seems weird to me. This just looks like cinnamon. I wonder if I'm going to need to try a different recipe with less cinnamon. It tastes mixed. I'm so afraid to just try it on its own. I think that's silly because who actually just gets a spoonful of this stuff and eats it? But I'll take one for the team just to try it. Okay. I'm sort of getting a lot of cinnamon, but I'm also getting the other ones. In fact, this doesn't even smell like cinnamon. It smells like all the spices together. Oh wait, that's really germy, isn't it? And I already did it once. Sorry about that. Actually, it was really germy when I licked my finger and put it in there. Sorry about that. Anyway, okay, so I tasted it. I guess this will be my personal jar. All right, I will remake that for everybody else because look, it barely took any of this out. Like I have a ton left. And I have a ton of cinnamon left. But like these are, I can't even tell that I barely used any. So I mean, I could use these over and over again. When do they expire? I got like 3 years. Anyway, that was awesome. I feel like that's a great deal. Obviously organic would be better and that's what I will do in the future. And then some of these I can make myself. Obviously I can make ginger myself. I don't even know what oh, it's a little nut. That makes sense, a nut makes a nut. Yeah, I bet you can get those. I bet you can get some cinnamon sticks even and do that yourself, or cloves and do it yourself. I think you can do this all yourself eventually. Well, I can't eventually. Maybe you can now. Okay, I'm gonna add some sugar to this and see what happens because I want to know what it tastes like when it's sweetened. You see in here in my messy cabinet? This is my coffee cabinet. Anyway, I'll get a tiny baby spoon so that I don't stick my finger in here, lick it and stick it in here. Oh, that seems like a lot. Smells good. The sugar helps. It's really perfumey, like floral to me. Yeah, I can see this being good. It's turning out really well for baking things. So we're about to find out. I'm gonna make pumpkin pie, and I'm gonna make scones with these pumpkins. Why I did the pumpkin spice is because I actually wanted to do pumpkin puree, because you can get pumpkin puree at the store. So I was gonna say, let's home make it. So I'm also gonna do this. I'm also gonna puree my own pumpkin, and I'm going to make it. It seems like a little bit of work, not a lot, but you can get it in a can at the store pretty inexpensive, and when you look on the back, it's just gonna say pumpkin. So there's not a lot. I mean, technically buying it from the store is gonna be easier. Again though, when you get it out of your own garden, which this is not, this is from Trader Joe's. When you get it out of your own garden, I feel like you just feel better about it, knowing where everything came from, knowing what the process was. So knowing how long it's been there. So that's obviously, again, our goal is to eat whole from our garden. But an organic pumpkin, I think, and the little bit of work you're going to put into it, because you can freeze it, might be worth it for you. If you're in a hurry, you don't have to worry about it. Now, the canned pumpkin pie, that has preservatives in it. So going this route, or this route with the canned pumpkin, is going to be your best bet as far as keeping preservatives and stuff out. Obviously organic, because these have the caking stuff in them. So my opinion is that this in a can, this feels even better. This from your garden seems the best. So let's get started on making this pumpkin puree. All right, so we're going to start carving these. I'm going to steam them in the Instapot. It should take about 13 minutes to do that. I haven't started on saute right now because that helps it get warmed up a little bit, so you don't have to wait as long for the warm up process. I'm going to be really careful, and I promise to try not really hard not to cut my fingers off. Smells like Halloween. Okay. All right. Oh, that's a lot of seeds. I think I'm going to save them. I'm going to save them, and I'm going to make pumpkin seeds. I'm excited to see how much we get from 2 small pumpkins. I've actually only done this with the bigger pumpkin, and only 1. But I feel like I got a good amount out of it. And then you can freeze them. This is going to be quite the process. So let me just finish this on my own. Okay, so I am actually going to show this because I got my big old spoon out and it was taking forever, and then I tried a fork, and then I tried this little spoon. I don't know if it's the shape or the size or what, but it was so fast. I thought, well, this is going to take a really long time. This feels like not worth it, but holy cow. Magic spoon. As seen on TV, or just really old. This is like an old-fashioned spoon, but maybe a normal one would work. A normal tiny one. But seriously, holy cow. That's done. That's crazy. I love you, spoon. All right, so now I'm gonna just rinse all these guys out, and I'm gonna pop them right in because my Instapot's ready. I'm gonna put these in. So these are those 2 small pumpkins. Let's see if they fit. So in my Instapot, I have just some water on the bottom, with this little guy sitting right over the water, and it's already popped in there. Let's see if these all fit. And then we're going to see how much we can get out of these. Let's see. Okay, I had to change my setup because I'm a tiny person who's awake now. So hopefully you can still hear me well enough. Okay, so Instapot is done, and I did put it on for 13 minutes, but if you're familiar with an Instapot, you have to wait till the pressure builds up, and then you have to wait for it to cool or release and then cool or whatever. But it took 13 minutes, and then all that other stuff. So I want to say 30 minutes, and that's done. And as I'm pulling this off, it's too hot probably to do it all, but look at that. It came right off. That's going to be so easy. I wonder if they all do that. Pretty much. They're kind of buried and stuff, so. But it's perfectly done. And I decided that I'm also going to make baby food with this as well. So I'm going to wait for it to cool a little bit, and then I'm going to pull it all out, and we're going to puree it in this Vitamix. Obviously, you can use whatever you have. Blender, whatever. It'll work just fine. I lied. I'm not going to wait for it to cool. I'm just going to do it hot. Because you know what? I don't like to wait a lot around for stuff. I've got too much going on. So I'm going to see how this treats me when I just do it. Because even sometimes people don't want to do things because they take too long. And it's wait for this and wait for that as far as cooking and stuff goes. So, yeah, it's burn your fingers off hot right now. But look, it's just coming off so easily. One part did fall into here, though. And I guess you got to worry about that. Or maybe I tossed it in because I was too busy chit-chatting and I didn't even notice. That's a possibility as well. Nope, everything else done. So while I was waiting for this to be done, made myself some coffee. But I also did those seeds, and those took, you know, maybe 10 minutes altogether because you have to wash all that stuff off. Oh, this one came off smooth again. Oh, I did it again. I am throwing them in there. I'm just tossing them right in there. Because I'm not paying attention. I'm putting them on my counter because I don't want to get my garbage can out. Because my little creature down here, he will grab everything he sees and put it in his mouth. He knows. He knows I'm talking about him. So I have to put my garbage can. Stuff's flying everywhere. I'm aware. It's just pumpkin puree, which I'm going to give him soon. So anyway, that's why they're on the counter right there. Because I don't want to dirty a dish, and I don't want to get the garbage because I don't want it all over the floor. I did wash that one that was on the floor, by the way, and plop her in here. Yeah, some of these towards the bottom are a little bit more moist, so I have to be careful about not getting the outside in here. It's still coming off really great. I faced them all up, so I'm just scraping it off. And it just comes out whole now. Like so. If you don't put it in your mix, you should be fine. Coming off easy right into the Vitamix. How perfect is that? So this was not difficult. The hardest part was getting the seeds out, I think. The slimy part, and then that spoon. Oh my gosh, that spoon. Watch, you guys already know about how to get pumpkin carving done, don't you? Not me, that was special. Plus, I think it is that I don't think these ones would do as well. I think it has to be like a soup spoon. Or my little old-fashioned one. So, almost done here. And it looks like two small pumpkins is filling my Vitamix up. And I feel like I almost don't even have to Vitamix it. It's just coming apart so nicely. Okay, here's what we got. 2 pumpkins. Hopefully I can get 2 pumpkin pies, scones, and baby food out of that. Okay. Moment of truth. It's gonna be loud, babes. It's gonna be loud. Singing along with this thing that I wasn't paying attention to it coming out and getting all over me. But let's take a look. Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's the perfect consistency. Yes, I'm feeling good about it. Let me come around. You can see in there, hopefully. I don't have my precious little assistant to help me with my videos. But I feel good. It looks good. It's going to work out great. I think I can get 2 pumpkin pies out of this. Easy. So I'm going to try to do this video making the pumpkin pies with my TV on. So we'll see how that treats us. Really quick. I used this with the sugar to make a pumpkin pie spiced coffee. All I did was add it in here with the sugar and mix it with this little tool. Whoa, that was a bad choice. Then I put my cream in it and it tastes just like pumpkin pie. It is so good. I love it. So another use for this stuff. Anyway, so here's everything that we're going to need for our, let me get the coffee off my glasses since I decided to turn that on. Anyway, this is all we need for our pumpkin pie. We have our puree we just made, sugar cane, eggs, condensed sweetened milk, vanilla. That's it. Now, none of this is organic. This isn't good for you, but literally we can make this too at some point. It's milk and sugar. That's what condensed milk is. This we can't make from scratch. Well, actually, that's not true. I just lied to you. I made this before with vanilla bean and alcohol. Easy to make too. You can actually make this too. We have so much to make. Okay, but for now, just because we want to use our puree, these are the ingredients that we're using. I got these pie crusts at IKEA. Nope, I didn't get them at IKEA. I got them at Trader Joe's, and I'm super excited about them because they're allergy friendly. I don't know if you could see them. My sweet little niece has a peanut allergy, a deathly one. So there's a whole bunch of junk this does not have in it. I'm really excited to try these. I hope they're good. I know sometimes like gluten-free stuff and peanut, I don't know, just free stuff sometimes is not delicious. But anyway, we're gonna go for it. Okay, 2 cups. This is for 1 pumpkin pie. So I'm thinking I can get 2 pumpkin pies out of this. Still thinking that. Oh, by the way, I had my baby try that puree. Try this puree by itself, just the pumpkin. We ate some of it. 2 bites, which is big for him. So that's kind of exciting, huh? Okay. This nasty stuff, this just grosses me out. But I feel like we could make it. Okay, so it's just 1 can of this, 2 cups of the pumpkin puree. Slimy again. I could show you, but it's really just this really watery consistency. Like that. And it hardens up in the oven, which is supposed to be preheated 475. I'm a little scared of my RV oven. Okay, now our last 3 ingredients. All right, we got 2 eggs. Our chickens aren't giving us eggs yet, so looking forward to that. Do you guys feel like I should be doing like a dry ingredient, wet ingredient situation? Because it said to just put everything in after you mix those 2 things. And this is pretty much only the dry-ish ingredient, but if it works, I'm not going to care at all. Okay, so this recipe calls only for a teaspoon of all that pumpkin puree stuff we just made. Nope. It calls for a teaspoon of that pumpkin spice we just made. I feel like that's not very much. Do I want to risk it and add a tiny bit more? I kind of want to. Hi, baby. Oh, fall down. Did I tell you that that was a half a cup of brown sugar? Except for it was a whole cup. And it was supposed to be a half a cup. Good thing it's sitting here on the top. Hilarious. I like brown sugar, so I don't know, guys. I think I got a half a cup out. That's hilarious. I don't even care. But hopefully that doesn't mess with the consistency of the pie and everything. But I think I got about half out. That's too funny. See, I'm still working on this whole talking and doing something at the same time. Interesting. Okay. For sure, I'm going to get a teaspoon out. Tablespoon out. Tablespoon of vanilla. Seems like a lot, but I love vanilla too. So, I'm fine with it. And I kind of want to, I think I'm going to go a teeny bit over with our pumpkin spice. It smells so good. 1 teaspoon. What if I just heap it? A heaping teaspoon. Decision made. Decision made, and that's it. Pumpkin pie. Pretty much done. I'm gonna whisk it. It smells really good already. Whisk together, pumpkin pie. You just get pumpkin. You don't get pumpkin pie. All that sugar I just poured into this thing. You want to see it? Up, up. Look. What you think? What do you think? I feel like you should be able to get 2 out of this. Out of this mix. I bet I'm wrong, but I'm going to try it. Okay, it says to keep these frozen. See, look how I smell everything. Just feel like it helps for some reason. Just smell everything. Doesn't smell like a thing. You can't smell it. We are going to put this into our pie tins. And our oven is almost ready. I'm only going to do 1 pumpkin pie at a time, if I can. Okay, so here's the test. Can you hold a baby and pour your pumpkin pie filling at the same time? Because I want to try it. Anyways, you heat at 375. This is the recipe. You heat this at 375 for 15 minutes. You keep an eye on the crust. You probably have to put some, what's that, sour cream. Tin foil around the edges to make sure the outside doesn't burn. I think you can do an egg wash too, which I'll probably do halfway through. And then that's it. Put it back into 350 for 40 minutes. That's the recipe. Can I do this? I'm gonna do 2. I feel like it's stretching it really thin. I'm doing 2 though. Because I wanna keep as much of that puree as I can to do other things with, to see how far I can stretch it. I'm gonna get my, gosh, I can't think of words today. I want to call this a squeegee. I'm mad at myself for not knowing the name of it right now. I don't know what the name of it is. I'm gonna get this thing, and then I'm gonna scrape the sides. Are you gonna be sad when I put you down? He has pumpkin puree stash. Yes, you are gonna be sad. He's gonna cry for 1 second. Can you say up, please? Up, please. Up, please. You guys, can you see these? I hope you can see these. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go see if you can see these. You kind of can. I'm so excited. We got 2 pies out of that. So I have all this left. I can make scones and baby food out of this, out of the 2 pumpkins. So 1 tiny pumpkin can make 2 pies. That's so fun! I want to make it healthier though, and I bet you can. I bet you can dumb down the sugar. I bet you can sweeten it with something else. I know there's ways to do it, but maybe we'll do a healthier video when it's about the pumpkin pie, not the puree that we're using. Okay, that's it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the pies came out of the oven, and here is how this shook down. I had trouble because these pie crusts, these gluten-free pie crusts, were different than normal, so that was one thing. Also, I had a lot of trouble with my RV oven. It was really hard to pull it out after the 15 minutes. And actually it was 425 and then 350 later. I think I messed that up earlier. But anyway, when I was trying to pull them out, it just sticks because it's so tiny in there. And automatically right away the crust started to burn. So it took a lot to get it, to get the tinfoil on the outside. And then once we did, the heat in the thing was all up and down and all over. But they set. You can come see. I have my girl back to help me with my video.
Hello.
Anyway, so come see. The crust is a little bit, you know, burnty here, and this ended up being a little sticky. And I know it's supposed to be kind of smooth. So these are for Thanksgiving tomorrow, but I am going to take a little bite just in case. You know I got to smell it. So let me smell it. It smells amazing. So maybe. I'm going to taste this little bite of crust that's on here by itself because I just want to see what it tastes like. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so the crust isn't bad. Now, there was going to be a little piece missing out of this pumpkin pie. Okay. I'm a little scared. The inside looks just like a regular old pumpkin pie. Still smells amazing. Okay. It's really good.
Woo!
Okay. I like it better than pumpkin pie. But it does taste like pumpkin pie, but just a little less pumpkin-y. A little bit more pumpkin spicy, but they turned out good. So I don't know if the texture, if it was done right in the oven, would have been that smooth surface. I'm assuming maybe that it would. I think the different consistencies kind of mess with it a little bit, but other than that, it all worked out. So that's it, guys. We did it. From pumpkin spice to puree to the pumpkin pie, the final bit. And I have enough left over now. I can do the scones tomorrow and I get to do baby food. So that's exciting. It all worked out with these two tiny pumpkins. So anyway, thanks for watching.